because I want to know what that ceremony would be like.
Right. Because, it's like the standard wedding, like a Christian priest, whether it be Catholic, Protestant, whatever, would, give you your, do you take the bride and all that, blah, blah, blah.
What's funny is Norse weddings are usually just for a while just between the bride and groom during Norse times, because finding a goddamn gothy is the hardest fucking thing to do, even nowadays.
Oh yeah, I imagine nowadays. But to bring this back to
actually less so nowadays than it was before.
To bring it back to medieval Europe quite a bit. What's funny is with royal weddings, they would actually watch you guys sleep on the first night.
They actually used to watch the royal shit and wipe their asses. Not kidding, they did.
Has to be a pristine.
One of the kings of England.
Crap.
They kept doing it for one of the kings of England. And he said, "Please stop. This is uncomfortable." He looked at him and said, "This is making me uncomfortable. Please stop."
He probably had one of those servants who was way a little too into it.
No, the servant was just, not into it at all. He was obviously made uncomfortable by it. The royal was uncomfortable about it. He's like, we're not in a medieval time
so
here,
like,
please.
why?
Let me do this
like,
myself.
The whole reason why they they watched the newly royal couple sleep together was because they wanted to ensure that they would be an heir. What was their reasoning for like watching them poop and wipe their ass or butt? Sorry.
That was, I don't know why, actually. I don't.
I think one of their more flamboyant rulers was like, "Yes, you're going to touch my rear end."
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
It's probably like the only.
There was some weird shit that went on in medieval Europe. It's probably the medieval torture chambers of the Inquisition are probably where kinkiness was born.
Oh god! No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No, the Inquisition just went. Nobody expects the Inquisition.
Oh no, Hans.
They just walk down there.
I imagine like the guy who's being tortured sees the whip and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, final clock."
No, I was thinking of putting you on the rack. Actually, oh, even better.
This is a reviewer I watch. His name's Decker Shadow. He was doing the review of this one Stallone movie where Stallone plays an assassin, and in the movie he goes undercover and sneaks into this masked ball party to get to the host. And so when he's alone with the host, he starts torturing him. And then for some reason, Decker decides it's a good idea to just make these kinky jokes. And he's like, "Oh, yes." Few know the pain. Few know the joys of pain.
Did it make Stallone uncomfortable? Or did Stallone go with it?
Oh, no. The reviewer himself was making the jokes.
Oh.
And then and there's a scene where Stallone shoots the guy in the foot area, because torture, gotta get the information out. And he's like, few, and the reviewer's like, few know the joys of the bullet, or some crap like that. I gotta link
way
you
too much time in the dungeon of the
Inquisition.
or worse, the German dungeons.
Or, spend some time with Pinhead. To get sidetracked even more, what's interesting?
What?
The original Freddy vs. Jason movie, right?
Yeah.
In one of the scripts, the ending would have been Freddy and Jason being dragged down to hell. And guess who was going to greet them? Pinhead.
What?
And the sequel would have been Freddy versus Jason versus Pinhead versus Ash. Ash from Evil Dead.
We all know he'd win.
Groovy.
with his boomstick.
Yeah. Although I'm interested, I'm like, cause like, how would they? Cause you know the limit configuration in Hellraiser. How would they interact that with the Book of the Dead, the
don't know.
Necronomicon from Evil Dead? Because
To go even more off topic, actually,
oh, what's it?
on
What?
Twitter, before the Satan account got banned, somebody was like you know, they were sent to hell in the tweet,
Oh no.
and the in the tweet they're like, Satan, why are you here? And then they do shit, and then the Satan Twitter account replies, stay the fuck out of here.
I don't want you.
It was
Dude.
great.
I don't know any personally, but it's like the Church of Satan's weird.
They're weird because they're so fucking nice.
Are
But
they?
they're Satanist.
Are-
Yes. They give out Christmas gifts. They give out Christmas gifts. and shit on
Christmas
Christmas.
gifts?
Yeah, I'm not fucking shitting you.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys could do your community service. Tell me, which church are you guys from? The Church of Satan.
What's even worse is they help out like other fucking churches and shit too. I'm like, why are you like this?
This
You're
is
supposed to be. Why are you like this? You're,
No.
you're supposedly worshiping something evil. Why are you like this?
maybe there's like they're being so nice they're doing something evil in the background. You ever think of that?
I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like nothing evil going on in the background. They're just genuinely nice because they're fucking weird. They're weird.
It's weird because I know it's like one of their beliefs is actually don't kill people.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? No.
This isn't what CK2 taught me.
This isn't how I get my powers in Crusader Kings 2.
Yeah. Imagine a history class where the history teacher just has the kids play CK2 through Hoi 4. And then when he teaches the space exploration side of things, he uses Stellaris. Oh
As
god.
a history teacher, the way I'm gonna teach, like if I were a history teacher, the way I'm gonna teach kids about, you know, important battles in history is Sabaton.
There you go.
How did World War One? Like, what was the experience of it? Well, let me put on a little video. Just fucking put on Fields of Verdun.
There you go. Can you
Maybe a little
imagine
bit of the Red Baron?
a campaign where you go from Imperator Rome all the way to Stellaris?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, we don't need that kind of mega campaign. We don't need to see Boy go to space.
Yes. Yes. I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but since you mentioned it, yes, we need that.
Look at Stellaris, fucking empire called Boy that just comes out of Earth.
The Boy
The
Empire.
Boy.
Hello. I see you're the nation of Earth. Hello. Yes. We are the Boy Empire.
They're like, I'm sorry, what? We're the Boy Empire. They do a little like hand thing. They
No, but their leader is
where
Jake
somebody's,
Paul.
you know, where somebody's going like Boy. You know, with the hand, like doing the hand, like knife hand almost. They
Yeah.
do that every time they say we're the Boy Empire.
Although this could eventually lead to Rome in space, though. Think about it.
True.
Rome in space.
That sounds really good.
A space Roman just
You
coming
know.
at you. A space centurion.
Okay, so a space marine, essentially, from 40K.
There
The
we
Imperial
go.
Man is basically just angry fascist space Romans.
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
They thought Caesar was a god, and look at that. The Romans thought Caesar was a god, and look at that. The Imperium of Man thinks the Emperor is God.
Although, Isaro,
Angry fascist space Roman.
he's currently doing his second mega campaign.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
and
don't like ISP that much, right? I don't agree with him on a lot of things before ISP. ISP.
And like the way he has to do the conversion and all that, he has to personally do a mod of Vicky 2 just to do like a Hoi 4 conversion. And then he has to do like a custom map thing for Hoi 4 for the Vicky 2 conversion.
Hey, worst comes to worst, we'll get like, oh god, there was a what was such a dumb movie where like the Nazis had like the secret moon base and Hitler was riding a T-Rex.
What was that one? What? Are we talking about Wolfenstein?
No. Hitler was riding a T-Rex and the Nazis were hiding on the moon.
That sounds badass.
I can't remember what it was called, but it's such a dumb movie.
It sounds like it's meant to be dumb though.
Oh, it is. It's a hilariously dumb movie, and
We're the baddies.
I want to look this up, actually. Hitler riding T-Rex.
Oh god, this is gonna be on your CIA.
Iron Sky.
You're gonna be on the CIA watch list now, buddy.
This is me. I'm an angry imperialist. I probably already am on the CIA watch list.
This man wants to put a monarchy in the U.S. Let's watch him carefully.
This man wants to bring back the Swedish monarchy, and his name is Carolus. I think he needs to be taken down.
Oh god, can you imagine if the U.S. had like a monarchy?
There's actually an Iron Sky 3 coming out.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, they have 2 movies now. They're having a third.
Okay, there's this weird scenario in Hoi 4 where if you play if you play as Great Britain, you can get King Michael, and you can go to war with the U.S.
To interrupt you.
Oh, sorry.
The Ark, an Iron Sky story. The new the Iron Sky 3 coming out. A pair of audio files show the code a mysterious message received from the moon, but find themselves up against the Illuminati.
Oh no.
I want to watch it. Put Iron Sky 2 to cover grace.
Anyway,
I
in
want to see
Hoi.
what that's about. That was made in 2019.
Oh really?
Yeah. The Nazis plan to take over the world after lying dormant in the secret military base. That's so stupid. I love it. I haven't seen the second or third one. I've seen the first one.
Anyway, if you go down the non-aligned path in the current DLC in Hoi 4 for Great Britain, you can put King Michael in charge, and you can actually go to war against the United States and put his American wife in charge.
Look at that image. Just pop that up on the quick.
The Reich strikes back.
Look at the fucking German UFO.
Oh god.
It's so stupid.
It is.
Oh, it's such a glorious movie.
Hi, Hans. Where do you find this?
I don't know. One of my old friends from Russia told me about it a while back. I started watching it. I'm like, this movie's glorious.
I don't want to see
before-
your porn history.
I don't have a porn history. I don't watch porn. Here's you don't. I have a brain issue that makes me not like sexual. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm not kidding. Before I left Moscow, he's like, hey, before you go,
Oh, you've actually been in Moscow?
Mm-hmm. He said, before you go, I need you to watch a movie when you get back. I'm like, what do you want me to watch? He goes, I need you to watch something called Iron Sky. I'm like, is this that weird Hitler movie? He goes, it's the weird Hitler movie.
I like how you had to be specific with it. It's a weird Hitler movie.
I'm like, is it the weird Hitler movie? He goes, it's the weird Hitler movie. Like a big. I hate. I'm gonna make you watch it with me. I'm gonna pull you into the Discord call, just stream it, and make you watch it with me.
Do you know of any medieval misconceptions?
I know. Buckle your seatbelts, chat. You're gonna be here for a while. Well, not chat, comments. You're gonna be here for a while. So, the biggest medieval misconception is really about the wealth and, how expensive it was to get armor at the time.
Mm-hmm.
A tailor, with his whole salary could get an entire piece of armor. The reason why he wouldn't is he'd want to save up to make sure he gets the best armor. Not only get the best armor, but make sure he still has something to fall back on.
Right.
Wearing armor back then was honestly nearly a requirement. Having a sidearm was nearly a requirement. Even some brigands had entire sets of full plate armor
Sets
and
of
a
it.
big ass pole armor sometimes. You can see the fucking Lawbringer from For Honor coming out of the goddamn war.
Oh no, not the Lawbringer.
Hey, he's the most historically accurate of any of the knights on that. You
I know, but it's
leave Big Daddy Lawbringer alone.
Big Daddy Lawbringer.
He's Big Daddy Lawbringer. That's what they call him.
Each day I
Sometimes
question
they also call him Law Daddy.
Each day I question your sexuality, Hans.
I don't. Sometimes I question that too. I'm like, Mr. Therapist, are you sure that that this is gonna make me this kind of thing is gonna make me uncomfortable forever? Probably, unless some drastic thing happens. So go to my therapist. I'm now a Lawbringer sexual. He's gonna look at me like, what?
I am sexually attracted to the Lawbringer.
He'd understand. Just show him a picture. He'd understand.
your therapist like subtly nods.
Just be like, I'm a Shigoki sexual. Show him a picture of Shigoki. There's a lot of medieval misconceptions, that one of which being knights were this, and this is a misconception I see a lot. Knights were this, medieval knights constantly murdered the peasantry when they went to war.
Right. Because people thought, oh, they're chivalrous, so they're good guys, But
Well, no, they didn't. What I'm saying is that's a misconception. They did not constantly murder peasantry.
no.
Chivalry was etiquette in combat, and if your opponent didn't fight back and ran away from you, you didn't. If your opponent wasn't threatened, if your opponent, he was scared, he was cornered, and he fought only to save himself, you're not supposed to hurt that peasant. Not because of honor, not just because of honor or gentlemanliness, but because chivalry, combat etiquette. For instance, if I'm fighting you and you're on the back leg and you've been a good opponent, or even if you haven't been a good opponent and I'm ready to kill you, I'm not going to make it painful, because that's against chivalry. It's against combat etiquette.
So basically, this was this was their treaty of
It was their kind of Geneva Convention.
the Geneva Convention.
Yes, you could go against chivalry and nobody would bat an eye.
Well, plus two, I would imagine they would see peasants as more of a resource than anything else. Because who
They
else
do,
is going
and they honestly do. And that's why there were some places where the peasantry did get killed. In fact, it was not uncommon for the peasantry to get killed by nobles, but it was not very common either.
Because, hey, we need you to work the fields.
Exactly. They're taking over a place. They're like, we need these people to work the fields. We need to be nice.
You know what you should do is create a time machine and introduce communism to the peasants.
God. Just have a Monty Python moment.
Yes.
Help, help, we're being repressed. Come see the violence inherited in the system.
You know that event in Vicky 2 where you get like, communism has been invented. Yeah, but you put that event in CK2.
What I find funny is that would actually be worse for the peasant time period because once again, some brigands were literally as armored as the goddamn lawbringer.
Which is funny to think about because like when you think
you think these communist peasants that are against their lord isn't supporting them. They don't have a town guard because they're just there with what they have and what they can get, and it's not much because they're peasants. Sure, some of them might have full plate armor. Sure, many of them may have a sword or two. But if a fucking entire band of brigands with proper armor attacks, they're fucked.
So hey, here's a weird.
That's why feudalism had to be the way it was.
Right. Feudalism is an interesting system.
Because nowadays it wouldn't work.
Right.
But back then, it was required.
Yeah, because the state left by the Western Roman Empire was very fractured and people were barely holding on to power.
Not only that, there was constant banditry. The roads were not safe.
Right.
So in order to, that's why during wartime, there was more brigands and more heavily brigands, smarter brigands than when the wars were over. And because there was constant wars, there was constant, banditry because of the way feudalism worked.
I got Kingdom Come Deliverance on my PC now for free because of the whole Epic Games thing. But my computer cannot handle the game. It runs at 11 frames, even on the lowest of settings.
I have a 1080 graphics card, and I don't even think I could run it. Not a 1080, I have a 1050.
Well, I'm not looking to like the max out graphics. I'm looking for like the bare minimum. It can't even do that.
Game is a pretty game, though.
It is. So
Actually,
hey, this is
my graphics card. I think I have. What do I have? I have a 1060 actually. Damn it, I'm stupid. I just looked at it and it says 1060. I'm like, okay, I'm stupid.
So this is a weird what if, but like let's say we put Skyrim in medieval Europe. What do you think would happen? Like not Tamriel, just Skyrim.
And they wouldn't. So we're thinking of realistically, not like with magic and shit, right?
Right. But like we think of like the standard weapons that a Norse would have.
Number one, Skyrim would be conquered almost immediately because their armor's shit.
Right.
Their paddle weapons are shit. And without magic, they're basically fucking useless.
So no
Their
Dragonborn.
weapons are so obviously imbalanced that you could see that a proper strike from even the shittiest of Warhammers, proper Warhammers, not the big fucking mauls you see in the game, would break the weapons. And when you look at the Warhammers, the big proper like fucking mauls you see in the game, they wouldn't even be able to wield them.
You just see like a small Luxembourgian force take over Skyrim.
Luxembourg is pretty fucking powerful at the time, though.
Was Luxembourg like an actual kingdom, or was it still that small
Yes,
one
Luxembourg
province
for a
state?
while ruled the whole Roman Empire.
Really?
Yes. And even before that, and even after that, Luxembourg was very prestigious in the whole Roman Empire.
Interesting. Is that why they were allowed to be left alone?
Yeah, pretty much.
And isn't Luxembourg still an
as for
independent
other
state
medieval
today?
misconceptions, one of the biggest is that they were dirty.
Very dirty. Like, these guys didn't shower for years.
They bathed. They weren't constantly dirty. The peasants didn't have these ragged,
Well, wasn't they wasn't like the belief that they didn't bathe because they were worried about disease.
That's the misconception, yes, but they did actually bathe. So it's one of the things where I don't know why people think that they didn't bathe, but they did. Bathing was very common.
So they did bathe, okay?
And peasantry actually made some of the best clothes. Their clothes weren't ragged or torn. Nobles would actually go to some peasants to actually get tailored clothes from them. That's why peasant tailors made so much money and could get armor.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting. Where do you think this conception of them not bathing a lot came from? Then
I don't know for sure. I think it might have been. I don't actually know because there's nothing that said they didn't. And it's weird because for a while historians knew that they had bathed. It's this common misconception pushed by public schools mainly. That they didn't bathe, that they were dirty, nasty, and yeah, they had shit teeth. But they weren't as shit as you're saying. They had ways of taking care of themselves that we don't need to do today.
It's like I think especially in American public schools. Like, American public schools focus so much on America being so great that they like to emphasize the horrible stuff that happened in other countries even before and after the formation of America.
Well, it also doesn't seem like they teach a lot of medieval history because when you ask it,
they do not.
Like, when you look about it, when you look at, your history textbooks in high school, at least when I didn't see a lot of medieval history.
There was not.
And then when I'd ask a teacher about it, they'd be like, oh, yeah, it wasn't really that disgusting, nasty, and dirty. That. And public school is kind of what really drove me to start learning about history and learning more about it. And it's really hard to drive those misconceptions out of my head that I have learned. I had one history teacher in high school before I quit. And this is the fucking straw that broke the camel's back. Right?
It
wasn't the teachers. It's like, at the time, the teachers were also, like, proven to be liars. They even had, like, the higher-ups about to fucking fire them because they were claiming people didn't do work when they did. It was weird. And I was one of the people that were being mistreated. But the straw that broke the camel's back was one of the teachers that did it. Was so fucking stupid that it wasn't even funny. She thought the Western Roman Empire was Byzantine and the Turks didn't conquer Turkey.
What?
But Italy.
Oh.
And Italy is a Muslim. That is when I quit.
My brain right now.
I had a science teacher who told me black holes don't exist.
What? What water are you drinking down there?
And she said that the Earth was actually a flat earther. Made me cry laughing when she told.
There's a flat earther teaching science?
Mm-hmm. It gives me a headache just thinking about it.
No. No.
It's the dumbest thing.
Oh my god.
And then I argued with her. She called the vice principal down. And while the vice principal was a dick, right? He even looked at her and said, "You're fired." No.
This is why I support public transportation into space, just to prove these morons wrong.
I support, making teaching requirements higher.
Right. Well, the problem with public school is that they lower the goalpost for graduation every couple of years.
Well, it's gotten to the point where I was talking to, somebody I know who actually works with getting people into college and their scholarships thing. He said, if you came here with your GED, I wouldn't need to do anything. I wouldn't need to help you get in. We see, because of how bad schools are now, they said, we see GED as more than a high school diploma. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, that's not how it should work. It should be equal or lesser.
Now, mind you, that's only my city.
Oh, true.
Because my city has really bad schools.
Well, it's and there's this. I know a couple of kids in my school, my neck of the woods, who actually, I'm not kidding, don't do any work. No work whatsoever. They even when it's test taking time, they just sat there. But the school was so worried about not getting funding that they let them pass the bare minimum.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. That is the reason why. And mind you, it's not just my city's actually starting to spread around even Florida and some places in Georgia and places like that, where they're looking at a GED as more diploma, which shouldn't be.
That shouldn't be how. No.
I shouldn't go to a college and then look at my, but go, oh, you have a GED? Welcome in.
Right. I mean, and it's good to have a GED system in place, because
it is.
Because
and yes, it should be the equivalent of a high school diploma. Because there are things for me, I left because I was in a bad public school. Well,
right.
I was actually, I went to go move to online classes. It was just as bad. And I'm like, okay, school system shit. I haven't learned anything I need to learn. I haven't learned about interest. I haven't learned about
taxes.
I haven't learned about CPR. I haven't learned about how to, at least, handle my wounds. I haven't learned how to, file for taxes.
Right? They don't teach you basic tax.
I don't know how to balance
a
checkbook. I don't know how to write in cursive, even though I'm required to write cursive for signature.
Oh, I remember the way it worked for us. They made it a very big deal in 2nd and 3rd grade, but then it was like, oh no, just write your name on print, and then we never did anything with cursive ever again.
Yeah, my dad just goes, okay, learn cursive enough until you can bullshit your signature, then you're good.
Right. I know how to do my name in cursive.
He was a staff sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to do a lot of paperwork. So he got really good at bullshitting his signature. And it's just weird how most historical misconceptions come from public school.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what makes... Oh, I'm sorry.
And then you have really stupid articles like the one I sent you the other
Oh, God.
day.
Yeah.
It gave me a conniption. It really did.
Oh, shoot. There's another Mel Gibson movie that makes me irate. The Patriot.
Yeah.
Because the character that Mel Gibson is based on, like the character he plays, was a slave owner. But in the movie, they're like, oh no, those people aren't my slaves. They're family. It's like the movie tries to be so pro-American that they forget slavery exists.
And here's the thing. When it comes to articles like that,
Oh, like the one you
I
sent me?
there's so little actual true history that you don't see the misconceptions, and you actually have to look at it.
It's
Like, for
sprinkled
instance,
in.
They said that bows weren't used before Charlemagne in medieval Europe.
What?
I'm not kidding.
The Romans.
And they're also like, oh, there's the crossbow used in the 11th century. Are you sure about that? They're saying it was used by the Normans.
Ay.
Right. And yes, the Normans did use crossbows, but the first, crossbow was built in Asia, as you know.
Mm-hmm. Them Asians, man, they create a lot of stuff.
The earliest crossbows made it to Europe around the 5th century. They had crossbows, they just didn't.
They weren't as effective because of the slow reload time. What's interesting with the early history of the United States when we were still like westward expansion fighting the natives.
And one thing I should say,
go ahead.
crossbows were used by the Greek and Romans. Not proper, crossbows, but mounted crossbows.
Oh yeah, the Bastilles. Am I thinking of that stuff?
scorpions.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, and even the mounted, something later on, crossbows would become a thing. Crossbowmen would become a thing, but it wasn't the Normans that introduced it to the entirety of Europe.
Me personally, I think medieval history is one of the most interesting points in history.
Yeah.
Because of the political intrigue, the fact that this is an era where this is after the Roman Empire fell, especially like the early stages of the medieval period.
Yeah. It's one of the things where misconceptions, like swords being heavy, another thing that comes from public schools. Swords being heavy.
Swords were made to be light.
And full plate armor being slow. No. You can do somersaults in full plate armor. Even back then. And many people say, if it's tailored to you specifically, it's harder to move. No, it's not. I've worn it.
Have you really worn armor?
I was using it to kind of demonstrate. I'm like, hey, because for a while I've tutored people with history. I'm like, hey, look at this. Look at how light this is. Look at how easy this is to do. Look at this misconception.
No, that's cool.
And I also had it for humor purposes. I may have also had a poleaxe. Don't judge me on that.
I'm not. Hey, dude, I'm not. That's awesome.
I don't know where it is, though.
Oh, God. Hans has lost his weaponry.
I don't know what the poleaxe is.
Hans, king of Florida.
Another friend of mine has a poleaxe and full plate armor as well, but his full plate armor is actually scary full plate armor. Somebody's trying to rob his house. He fucking walked out with the poleaxe and full plate armor.
Imagine robbing the house and a knight just comes at you.
I'd be like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if I'm robbing that house, I might, like, just stay for a split second because of curiosity's sake.
Or he just instead of coming out with a poleaxe, he comes out with an evening star or a Guten Tag.
Nice.
And oh god, don't get me started on how terrible flails are.
They really are.
They weren't used that much in medieval. Reason they suck.
Because you're more effective with a pole arm or a sword.
Or a mace on a stick, you know,
Right.
instead of a chain.
Oh, okay, here's another what if for you. The land, like the land that is Calridia in Mountain Blade.
Calradia, yeah.
Calradia, sorry. Let's say it gets united by the player or one of the kingdoms. And we put Calradia in the middle of, or like as its own island per se, or like however you want the scenario to play out. We
In the
put it,
middle of Europe, it would probably instantly die. But as its own island, that is a powerhouse. Especially because you have all of these different cultures. Now, it would probably... there would definitely be a lot of infighting, because there's a lot of different cultures, you know, doing this, that, and the other thing.
I'm so excited for Mountain Blade 2.
But they have crossbows, they have gunpowder, possibly.
Yeah, depending on what DLC you're playing.
They have gunpowder, they have crossbows, they have full plate armor, they have their own knights, they have a navy. They have everything needed to be a great power in Europe.
Isn't Mountain Blade 2 supposed to have a lot more factions?
Yes, it's also coming out supposedly in March. You know,
Oh, sweet.
supposedly.
Everyone's excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, March 31st.
I
really
hope
coming
it-
out? Is it really coming out? Tell Waltz.
I hope
coming out.
If it does come out, I really hope it's a good game. I know it's probably going to be a buggy mess when it comes out, but I just want it to be good.
I mean, the graphics are fucking amazing.
Right. And like
Like the weapons and shit.
isn't like during, I don't know if this is going to be the thing in the official game, but during like the dev like showings and stuff,
Yeah.
what they showed was you could actually like control little gangs inside villages and cities.
That's interesting.
Right, so it's like, what if you could actually like, instead of being like a bandit, you could make a full on like crime syndicate? Wouldn't that be so awesome for roleplay purposes?
That would be.
Yeah, because like in like the one of the dev showcases, I don't know if it was like an official dev one, if it was just an IGN video, but it was like the player character like just beat the crap out of like a bunch of gang members, and then they controlled the gang, and so like they controlled the populace of that village.
Yeah.
And isn't there? I think there's going to be formable nations in Mountain Blade 2.
Now, like the original Mountain Blade title, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord is axe, and the reason why is so they can flesh out any bugs.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second. Do you repeat that?
Like the original Mountain Blade title that helped pioneer the, you know, early access release, that, you know, that type of release. The essentially they're releasing Bannerlord in early access to flush out any bugs, or, you know, to make it, you know, for feedback and balancing and everything like that.
Right. Oh god, I've seen
And yes, the original
screenshots
Mountain Blade,
of like
Mountain Blade was released in like early access.
I've seen screenshots of like the first couple versions of the OG Mountain Blade, and my
yeah.
god,
It's old.
I know. People forget that all Warband is an expansion.
Yeah, pretty much. Warband even though it's an expansion, Mount Blade Warband is still one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
It is. It's in my top 10.
Oh, it is my number one.
Because, like, just to goof off in the game is so great.
I
Or you
want to
could,
get Freeman Guerrilla Warfare.
you want to get what?
Freeman Guerrilla Warfare?
Is that a mod?
No, it is a full-fledged game.
Oh,
It's like
I-
Mountain Blade, but modern day.
ooh.
And you actually have cover and, you know, actual, like, modern day tactics.
Ooh, do you know when it's releasing?
It's released.
Oh. Me
You
being
can get it now.
How much is it?
$25.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not. I do want to get it. I just don't have the ability to get it right now. But, you know, it's, you know, a very new type of FPS game on it.
So is it kind of like Armora?
Arma? It's Arma mixed with Warband.
That's a good combination. That's a really good combination.
Now, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, you know, it's not that good. It's buggy. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm more lenient when it comes to bugs with like independent titles.
They're also it's like the late game loading times are a bit much, but
Ah.
they
So
are
is
updated.
it single player or is it multiplayer?
It's like,
Single player?
yeah.
Ooh.
Now a lot of people are like the NPCs have aimbot and can shoot them before you see them. Well, if they didn't, you
So-
know, Mountain Blade Warband has the same thing. The NPCs can shoot you before you see them.
Right.
They know where you are at all times.
Um,
If they don't, it's less of a challenge.
is it a sandbox like environment like Mountain Blade?
It's exactly like Mountain Blade.
Oh, so you have like various countries that you can take over or
Yes.
join?
Yes, it is exactly like Mountain Blade.
Oh, that's so cool. Is it? It's on Steam, right? Because I
Yeah,
see the link.
sent you the
Okay.
link.
Oh, that's
And you can mod it too.
Ooh, you get. Oh, yeah. Mod tools are live. Oh, okay. I need to save up some money and buy that game.
But yeah, it is exactly Mountain Blade with guns.
I'm gonna have to
Proper
check out some
modern
game.
guns.
I'm gonna have to check
There's
out
some
some.
different mechanics in the battles, but it's still very similar to Mountain Blade.
Can you control an army or a group of soldiers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Hans.
When
you
I
have,
say it's exactly Mountain Blade, it is exactly Mountain Blade.
Hans, you have no idea what you just did.
Oh, I know what it did. I know you're a fucking Mountain Blade fanatic.
I am. It's my cocaine. I'm not kidding. It's such an to me. It's such an addicting game.
I know Bannerlord is supposed to have co-op.
Ooh. Shall we form the Calridian Empire together?
I don't know if it's actually going to have co-op. Because they said they were going to do it, but they haven't said anything about it.
Right, and like they've had like so many dev showcasings of like different mini mechanics, but the game's been delayed so many times. Who knows what they kept at this point?
Yeah, they were going to, but they said it would be too long
Right.
to develop.
Although who knows? Maybe like all the stuff they've been wanting to do, like the mini add-ons and stuff, might be for a future expansion.
Maybe. They really should add co-op of some sort, though.
I still need to get Viking Conquest.
I do too.
And it's like I know like that actually has like a mini storyline in it, and I've been wanting to get it so bad, but I haven't had the money.
But yeah, they did one of the. This could be wrong as well as could be false. So take this with an extreme grain of salt.
Uh-huh.
But in an article written on a site talks about will the game have co-op, and the devs allegedly said adding co-op functionality to Bannerlord would increase the complexity and development time of the project considerably. We can hopefully add it as a DLC after the release. We think the only viable way to support this is to make a single-party co-op where additional players can join the main player's battles, but cannot venture into the campaign map on their own.
Right, because 2 players on the same map, that would just cause some chaos.
It would, but somebody's gonna mod it. If they make this thing, and if you and I play that, we're probably just gonna. If you and I play a mod like that, we're probably just gonna cuck constantly.
Right, because like we'll make some like weird rules where we have to start independent kingdoms and we can't declare war on each other until like we conquer.
Oh no! It's gonna be it would be all holds barred, and then we get at each other and be like, all right, these are the rules of the engagement.
Listen here.
I'll be off somewhere. You'll be off somewhere. I'll lead your.
Listen here.
Don't make me come over there.
I'm going to conquer Swadia, and you're going to like it.
Well, what if I raid your village while you conquer Swadia? No, too bad. I'm already doing it. God damn it. That would be too fun. That would be very fun.
Right. What's in your opinion? What's the worst faction in Mount and Blade?
It's very tough because in the base game Mount and Blade, it's very tough.
If we're talking warband, so we get the Sultan.
Yeah, the base game Mount and Blade warband, native, right?
Mm-hmm.
No mods or anything like that.
Yeah.
So every faction is a pretty good faction. The Vagirs have the best archers.
The Rodoxians have the best spearmen and crossbows.
Rodox have great spearmen and crossbows, but usually they're destroyed by the Vajir master. Nords have the best infantry.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Swadians are very good. Die so quickly is because everybody declares war on them.
Right, because it's let's have a feast.
It's the worst. It's a tie between the Khergit Khanate and the Sultanate, and I would definitely have to go with the Sultanate because the Khergit Khanate can be good if you build your army right, but it's an all cavalry force, and that's never good.
Right, because the problem with them is if you have an all cavalry force, they end up being terrible at siege battles.
Not only that, if you're fighting the Nords and the Nords sit there with a big ass army and shield, you're screwed.
Right. What's good about their armor isn't exactly the best. I think Swadian cavalry is better because of the heavy armor.
Yeah, Swadian cavalry is better. But with the Khergit Khanate, there are some very heavily armored cav. I think what the Khergit Khanate have over the Saranid Sultanate is their annoyance factor. The horse archers.
Because, oh my god, yeah, they're such a pain to get rid of. It's not necessarily to do a lot of damage, it's just they're such a pain to get rid of.
And if you're playing as a Nords where you don't have a lot of cavalry, you're pretty fucked.
Or the Rodoxians where you have no cavalry.
Yeah, the Rodox where you have no cavalry but you have crossbows. You can pretty damn easy.
Have you ever done a mercenary only run?
I have, and it's so expensive.
Right.
I did a run in Fantasy Calradia where I only did farmers and peasant women in towns. No, never again.
What's the way to recruit farmers? Because I know you can rescue some.
In Fantasy Calradia, you actually go to a tavern and recruit them from there, but you have to have cheats enabled. But the only way to do it without cheats is through rescuing them,
Yeah.
and there's really no reason to.
Because if you upgrade
They're terrible.
a farmer, you can actually get the mercenary units.
You say that
Sorry, you cut out there.
here. You say like the farmer will last that long. Let's be real here.
Hey, if I put him in the very back, he will.
No, because you'll put him in the very back with Jeremy. Both Jeremis and him will die, and you'll be like, God damn it, there goes the medic.
Well,
Jeremis.
Jeremis can't die because he's a companion.
You get what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I hate having companions so much. Because it's
I don't mind it. Because the companions, I found out the companions are more intricate than it seems, because they can fall in love with each other and shit, and you can marry them.
Oh, seriously? Mine ended up just like complaining against each other. Usually.
No, Niger falls in love with Mattel, and they get married.
Oh, seriously? That's kind of cute.
She at first complains about it, and then they because it's another thing of you're not just their commander, you're their friend, so they kind of tell you about this shit.
Right, because you have those conversations with them.
Yeah. And so you kind of get to see the story unfold.
Mm-hmm. Now, do they still do that? Let's say if I make them vassals of my kingdom, do they still do that, or is it only because they're in your party?
It's only when they're in your party.
Oh God, can you imagine doing a companion only run?
You'd have a lot of vassals that are loyal to you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a big thing. And another thing with companions is you can actually marry.
Oh yeah, like what's her name? Martel, the one you just mentioned.
Mattel, you can marry her, but I never get in the way of her.
Her romance.
Yeah. Because I like seeing that pop up.
That's cute. I'm gonna have to watch out for that now.
Yeah, and like, because she complains because she's like, Captain, Niger won't stop reading me romantic poetry. What? The fuck is this pop up?
Oh, did
like,
you get...
first I saw it, and then Niger he's like, can you get him to stop? And you're like, I guess I'll talk about it. He comes to you later, and says how he'll melt her Nordic heart. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's gonna be one of these.
Do you like helping out the claimids to the kingdoms?
Well, you don't really get much. Like Isolde Cirno, there is a mod where you marry her.
Oh no, I'm talking about do you like helping out the rebellions?
Oh, the rebellions? I like to start them.
Yeah. I've only had, I think, one game where the rebellion happened naturally, aka I didn't have anything to do with it.
I know in Fantasy Calreda you can actually start a peasant rebellion.
Ooh.
I think you do that in Flores too. And it's just so hilarious. That's my favorite thing, because you do it in the city.
Yeah, I kind of like the way I do my gameplay stuff for that is I like to increase my relationship with like the village states, the villages. So that way, like storyline wise, my character has the support of the people.
Yeah, it's one of the things where it's my favorite thing to do in that game is to do meme runs. Because you saw my stat lich, you saw my cranberry lich.
Yeah.
But I fucking scratched the run because of how annoying it was. For Statman.
I love doing 1,000 Statman run.
Did you hear what I said though?
Yeah.
For Statman.
4.
Yes, 4.
Why not do a 1 Statman?
4 charisma, 4 strength. 4 everything. And he only had peasants in his army. farmers,
no.
townsmen, and shit.
Oh no.
And they kept leaving my army.
Oh no, no. Who wants
I
a
had
guy
to
with
keep
4
fighting.
charisma leading
I had to
them?
keep like, I had to keep like fighting like armies. I had to commit to like turn to banditry. It was so hard that I had to scuff the run. It's too bad.
Okay, what you need to do now is a 1 Statman run.
No,
Yes.
I tried no stat man as well. He died immediately.
Well, no, duh.
One stat man won't do any better.
Oh god. Shoot, what's have you ever gone into the cheat menu and gotten a flintlock pistol and tried to only use that?
Oh yeah, it's so annoying.
It really is.
My favorite thing to
not
do in
worth
Mountain
it.
Warband is to enable cheats. You must have a bunch of money and then just only use peasants.
That's the closest thing you can get to a communist
Get like
army.
1,000 peasants and siege a castle, and it's funny as hell.
Because they get slaughtered.
They do, but eventually they get through. It's like you can actually change the battle size. You can have like an ass ton. Like you can actually go into the files and change the battle size. where you
Yeah,
have
that's how.
like
That's actually how I've won some of my battles. Because what I'll do is I'll lower the army size as low as possible for battles, and if I go against a bigger force, my guys can go in and actually be on an equal playing field and win the battle.
No, what I do, right? Here's what I do. I go into the warband files and I increase because you can only do this through the warband files. I increase it to about 3,000.
Oh no!
Only peasants, and then find the biggest force I can and fight it.
How does that go down?
Usually about like fighting King Harlaus 500, and just watch like them struggle against thousands of peasants.
King Halos, we won't make it to the feast in time.
Like they just get surrounded and beat on. It's not even funny. Or you can like cheat and use like cheat engine or something to get an ass ton of farmers, right? I don't have cheat engine, so I've never done that. But farmers and townsmen suck. They suck. But once they're surrounding something, that thing can't move, trying to hit them. But
Right, so it's just
stun-locked.
continuous damage.
Exactly. And they're just getting stun locked constantly, so they just die.
I remember when I had the demo of Warband, and I got my army to like mid-tier stuff, and it was a low army because the demo only allows you to play for so long.
Yeah.
And I foolishly decided, hey, I've never done this before. Let's raid a village. Yeah, my guys got slaughtered immediately. Because we were able to take out a lot of them, including me, because I had a horseback. So taking out a lot of them. But then they just eventually overwhelmed my forces, and they just got slaughtered.
You see, that's what happens. Those peasants, man, they're deadly.
It's almost harvesting season.
No. You're gonna give King Harlaus Vietnam flashback. Pop
I think this was
5,000 peasants. It's almost harvesting season.
I think this was a joke video I saw, but someone did a video where it's like, if you play the really old version of Mountain Blade, the original, you can actually see the ghost of Harlos, or some crap like that.
He'll tell you about how he got Vietnam flashbacks being beaten by peasants.
Right. I think I've seen, because I tried to do an AI only type deal with Hearts of Iron, not Hearts of Iron, Mountain Blade before.
Mm-hmm.
And Swadia was actually able to take quite a bit of territory.
Who was Swadia?
Yeah.
So you cut out for me.
Oh, yeah, it was Swadia. They were actually able to take some territory.
Yeah, they usually die like early game though.
Yeah, it's like a
Unless the
50-50
player gets
shot.
involved. If the player gets involved, they do pretty well.
Because you're doing stuff instead of just like
Yeah.
going to feast.
Which for some reason the Sweatians do. Well,
Yeah.
usually they're also at war with the Khanate, so
Or
go after them.
they go after the. For me, they're usually first game. They're either, it's they're either at war with the Khajiits or I said that wrong.
The Khajiit?
I said that wrong. Yeah.
The Khajiit have coin. If you, the Khajiit has wares if you have coin. I didn't know cat people were at war.
I've always had a hard time pronouncing all the faction names. Can you say their name? I'm sorry.
Khajiit Khanate.
The Khajiit Khanate. They're usually at war with them or the Rhodoksians.
Yeah, the Rhodoks.
Rhodoks. Or Norse, or the Nords on a rare occasion.
Now, what I've noticed is the Vage rarely come out on top with fighting, but they do come out on top with fighting Khajiit Khanate. So, when they get, usually if they fight the Khanate before they fight to take over the Khajiit Khanate, they can actually, they just beat down the Nords. I've seen a really powerful, like, Vagier, like, kingdom. It's scary.
I wonder if anyone's ever had the patience to do an AI-only Mountain Blade video.
Probably not. I know damn well I don't have that patience.
Let's get Drew Janelle on this.
I don't think Drew Darnell has the patience. He had the patience to do an AI only story. So, who knows, maybe.
Have you ever seen a powerful sultan or a sultanate?
No, they usually get their ass.
I feel so bad for them because they're a lot of players' go-to faction to just completely raid and destroy.
Yeah. Now, if you're the player, the best thing you can do with Sarenid Sultanate is capture like one of the border castles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And make sure it goes to you.
Right.
And then just spam your units in, and they will never get taken.
Spam your units?
Yeah, just like spam them into the two castles. Because you only need like 2 or 3 castles to really defend the Sarenid. And then just spam as many units as you can. And
you keep cutting out for me.
Free upkeep because they'll be garrison. You know?
When's the earliest you've ever gotten to your own kingdom in game? Do you usually try to be a vassal or a mercenary for a little while before then, or do you just go straight in?
I did a challenge where I got up an army, right?
Mm-hmm.
A really like basic mercenary army, and used sheets to take over a castle. Right?
Oh.
Everybody declares war on you immediately.
Right, because you don't have any right to the throne.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So
you need to have them.
It becomes more challenging to be that ruler, and you actually have to fight them off and gain that.
Right, because you need to have your companions spread that you are the rightful heir to the throne.
Yeah.
Because which makes sense. Because look, this random dude just decides to take over a castle. Let's show him what we're made of.
Yeah. This is one of the things where you can do a lot more band.
A lot. I love the game so much because it's not like that Fallout 76. Oh, choose your adventure type stuff when the game doesn't really allow you to do a whole lot.
Hey, they're fixing it at least. Finally.
But it's if you want to be a merchant, the entire game you can be a merchant. If you want to be a
That's
merchant,
actually what I like about Kenshi. It's the same thing I like about
That-
Warband. I like about Kenshi.
I need to get Kenshi as well.
You do. I'll force Kenshi down your throat.
Yes. But yeah, I definitely need to get Kenshi. I need to get this new game that you introduced to me.
New game. Which one?
Freeman.
Oh, Free Win? Yeah. Get it. It's great. I've only seen gameplay. I want it so I can spam peasants with guns and try to take over a city.
Okay. Oh, the Spiffing Brit when he did that machine gun crossbow live stream. That was great.
My Cranberry Lich was better. No, in Fantasy Calradia, right? Because I had uninstalled, reinstalled, Fantasy Calradia. And I was trying to do that run, and I noticed River Chegg is still called Cranberry Chegg.
Seriously?
Yes. I had to change it, because in base game it was still called that too, so I had to change it.
Ah. So did you go into the files and change city names?
Yeah,
Ah.
to make it Cranberry Check.
That's interesting. Remember there was a Great War mod for a while, but then it found out that all the assets and resources were stolen, and so they
Yeah.
took that off and yeeted it off
Was that
every site.
Parabellum?
Yeah, because ISP did a video on it.
We can look it up. Because I know I had the Red War. That wasn't.
Red War's a good mod.
It's alright.
Crashes on me every time I try to take over Siege. It's just you can tell the game was not made for automatic weapons.
I mean, there's Parabellum, but I don't see anything on it stealing anything, so I don't know if it's Parabellum.
I definitely know it was a World War One mod.
Yeah, Parabellum is a.
Shoot.
There's also Rise and Fall, the Great War mod. No, it was the Parabellum mod. He
was it?
stealing shit.
So, was he stealing stuff from other mods, or was it like an official game?
He was
he's doing?
taking mod. He was taking models from other modders.
Kind of dirty.
Yeah. That was a really good mod too.
Weren't the planes actual units though?
Yeah, it was a good mod.
Then he had to steal everything. Oh, dude, playing the Red Wars mod is a weird because they add like a bunch of extra kingdoms.
Yeah. Another thing about Parabellum, probably asked to you.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You've been cutting.
He probably could have just asked you.
He probably could have. He probably could have just asked the majority of them.
But I guess for some reason they just like, nope, not asking. Fuck you.
Yeah. No one's gonna notice, right? And then the mod got big and everyone started to notice.
But I hope somebody remakes it and tries to do it better.
Right.
This is a very good mod, and his mechanics were good.
I'll tell you which mod sucks. The Napoleonic mod. I'm not talking about the DLC with the multiplayer. I'm talking about the single player Napoleonic mod. That sucks.
Let me see if I can figure out what you're talking. Because I have Calradia Imperial, something like Calradia Imperial.
I know there's a mod that actually gives you Calridian like units, like completely new units.
Yeah, Fantasy Calradia does that.
So what's in Fantasy Calridia?
Yeah, it's called Cal Imperial Age that I have. I don't know if that's the mod.
So, if you were to choose between CK2 and Mountain Blade, which one would you pick?
As much as I love CK2, Mountain Blade.
I go
Because
with
Mountain
Mountain
Blade
Blade
doesn't
too.
have tons of DLC, there, some of which is unjustified.
I think the dev team has really done a good job with it. You know, as far as like DLC and stuff goes. Well, we're at 2 hours and 46 minutes. Hans,
Oh,
it's been,
jeez.
yeah, Hans, it's been great having you on the show. For those of you guys who don't know, Hans is a YouTuber and streamer.
I also smell bad, just so you know.
He also smells bad. Although I'm not sure if I can link that into the description.
Yeah, you can. Look how bad I smell. I have
Like
an
you
account called. I have a site called where you can like order terrible smells that are basically. I'm kidding.
That part
Actually,
cut
is
out.
that a website? Is that a website?
Where you can just order someone's bad smell?
I don't know. I'm gonna look up www.smellme.com.
Oh god, Hans, you're gonna find some weird porn site or something.
No, but it is a website for sale.
Hans. This is the kind of stuff we get into, people. Hans is a madman. He's been holding me hostage.
I feed him tendies in my basement.
Help me.
Even though I can't have a basement, just Florida.
Yeah. No. The basement's located in Ohio.
Yeah, I have a basement in Ohio that, fly there to feed him tendies.
No. You don't fly there. You teleport there.
I have tendies. The best of tendies. For the best of slaves.
Communist Ohio will rise.
He's just saying that. Don't worry. He enjoys what happens to him there. There's a reason his talk about the Inquisition was help. I send my Inquisitors down there all the time.
Man. No, the kingdom of Ohio will rise. King John will rise. I'll take
Now
over.
that I can get behind.
I will take over Ohio.
Even though I've seen you fucking put Communist Ohio on my goddamn Discord server.
I have it. It's glorious.
Where's Liberty Prime? You need it.
Although I'm going to go into the state mod sometime and do Kingdom of Ohio or Non-Aligned Ohio, because I don't know if it's like the default name is Kingdom of or not.
Yeah, it's not aligned.
Oh man. If you really think about it, though, non-aligned is one of the best ideologies to play as because you're given so much time to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Although playing non-aligned in South America sucks, though, because no one is aggressive.
South America just sucks in general.
It's like you expect like Venezuela or Peru to be aggressive, but they're not.
Wait, are you playing multiplayer in the state mod? I'm just looking at it. And there's somebody else's name. Nickajack.
What? Be very careful how you phrase that, Hans. I don't want to be canceled.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna phrase it that way.
Don't,
Nintendo.
please. Please.
Now you're definitely gonna get canceled. Nintendo's gonna come and claim your video because I've said their name.
Darn it, Hans.
Huh?
I said, darn it, Hans.
They used to do that, by the way. It used to be if you said Nintendo in a video, they
Right. And that Nintendo was really bad about that. They're still bad, but they've been more lenient as of late.
Nintendo.
I swear. I swear to your gods, Hans. I swear to your gods.
I just see you like climbing up. Like I just see you climbing. Just like the Rainbow Bridge. Like get over here. Get over here.
Me and Odin are gonna have a chat, Hans.
Odin, he keeps getting me monetized.
Okay. Oh, was Odin just as bad as Zeus was about keeping it in his pants?
No, actually. He saw Freya, that was it. Though he actually does, like, in God of War, it's like, oh, he mistreats her. No, he doesn't. She's too scary for him to do that. She would castrate him.
Well, that's what I find funny most about Greek mythology is that 90% of it, it's just Zeus put his privates in something, and it created this.
Zeus is basically the start of the Habsburg dynasty.
Oh God! Wait, what if the Habsburgs were related to Zeus? It all connects.
Why do you think they have that chin? I do have to go as well because my brother is yelling at me to do shit with him.
Okay, well, it was great having you on, Hans.
It was great being on.
And
I didn't think
it's
we'd go
not
off
gonna
topic so quickly.
right. Still, I hope you all enjoyed. Probably not as soon as it gets uploaded because I'm kind of bad with that stuff. But when the video is up, there should be a link to Hans's Twitch channel and his YouTube channel.
There will also be a dad joke from me in the. Why not?
I fully expect a dad joke. Oh, side.
The fisherman say to the magician,
Quick.
pick a card, any card.
Quick side note. I've said so many dad jokes at my school. People are actually starting to think I'm a legitimate dad.
People already think I'm a legitimate dad. Even before I was making dad jokes, somebody thought I was touchy with kids. I'm like, no.
What? No. I mean, heaven forbid if I ever have kids. Yeesh.
Oh, if I ever have kids, you know the world's fucked.
Oh no. Troglodytes are roaming the world.
They're gonna call you one day and be like, hey, by the way, I had kids. You go, no.
No.
And you're gonna hear the troglodyte noises.
I'm gonna be scared. Like, no. What's gonna be more terrifying than you having kids is like, who is a terrifying woman you had them with?
Oh yeah, true. You know my.
Like, oh god, it's gonna be some woman named Helga or something.
No. Helga isn't my type.
Well, what is your type? So that way the lovely ladies who are listening can know you.
You said that like I'll get anything.
All of two.
Have you seen me?
No.
I'm literally a troglodyte. I'm literally a troglodyte. Why do you think I don't do face cam on Twitch?
Don't.
People turn to stone.
That's Medusa. So. And Medusa was cursed that way because she was the most beautiful mortal woman on Earth.
You see, I'm only that way because I'm the son of Baba Yaga. My mother's called Baba Yaga for a reason.
The son of Baba Yaga?
Yeah, my mother's actually called Baba Yaga.
Oh, God.
People call her that.
But speaking of, your mom is a treat when she joins your Twitch chat.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, this is Nerdy John signing out. I hope you all enjoyed. And there's Hans's mating call.
No, that was me trying to clear my throat, and I'm sick, so I couldn't. And that was painful.
Well, too bad it's your mating call now. Whatever.
I'm gonna hear that from. I'm gonna hear that in my closet one day. I'm like, nope, I'm leaving.
One day I'm gonna be walking on the street and I'm gonna hear that. I'm gonna be like, Hans finally did it.
No, it's gonna be like you're gonna hear that. Then Buff Jar Jar is gonna step out of the.
Oh no, not Buff Jar Jar.
Do you remember Buff Jar Jar?
Buff Jar Jar. I believe I've seen an image.
There was a screenshot
Oh no.
I sent you. There's a screenshot I have.
Didn't you make a joke a while back about Jar Jar being related to the Habsburgs?
Yeah. I actually have to find that because that's also when I said Jar Jar, you're gonna meet Jar Jar in that dark alley.
Oh God.
Do you not remember that?
I remember that. We are gonna
we
have
found that
fun. Oh God, can you imagine if Darth Jar Jar was actually a thing?
In the comics, he actually does a perfect saber throw.
Oh yeah, isn't that when he's with Captain Rex?
Mm-hmm.
And then Captain Rex gets really suspicious.
Look at that screenshot.
I see the screenshot.
I like how you're like, I'll need a revolver. Just like Jar Jar's father.
Oh God, yeah,
That got put on cursed comments, by the way.
Yeah, I remember. I like how my first comment for that is, "I need to bleach my eyes." All right. Well, this recording will end now. Kind of dragged on a bit. So this is Nerdy John once again signing out.